Mm-hmm. 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 Well, there you are. Glad to see that you're finally awake once more. And it's also nice to see that there's more pink dusting across your cheeks. You've warmed up quite a bit since you were in that blizzard, but as a human, I think you were in it for far too long. Had to make sure you didn't catch any frostbite. And I'm happy to say that you didn't. I can say that your fingers are very much safe. Hopefully it doesn't make you too uncomfortable. I took the liberty of making sure they had good circulation, enough warmth. Your digits are the first thing to catch frostbite. I didn't want to take any chances. So I've just been holding them, rubbing them between mine. Hopefully that's all right. Well, good. You know, that's one of the misconceptions that people have about snow elves. We aren't warm. But the truth is, we need to be warm for the harsh winters. That's why we don't get cold. So I thought my warmth would help you. Just as a precaution. But there. I can move now if you'd like. I guess I was just a little nervous leaving you alone. So I guess I nestled you on my lap just to make sure that you're all right through the night. Well, I figured you'd be all right. But I don't really need to sleep, so I figured what's the harm? And I suppose my lap is fairly warm. I'm glad it is. Mine will be of use. You'll also be happy to know that the blizzard has let up. I know you need to make your trek to your family. All the things that you have to bring them. And your coat that was placed by the fire has now been dried. Take your time waking up. You still went through quite a lot last evening. I'm just so very glad that I found you. And when you fully wake up, you can finally repay me back. I just mean some good conversation and coffee. I already have a pot ready, just like I said. There's also muffins that I baked yesterday. And I wasn't sure if you're more of a meat eater versus having muffins. I know I slightly inquired about it last night, but I think you were too tired to answer. So I did take the liberty of making some stew, just in case. You need to get your strength back up. You may have gotten a nice good night's sleep, but you'd still look rather exhausted. Peculiar. Sleep. In my worry, I watched you sleep. I've experienced such a thing. I mean, I tried. But I don't think an elf can ever really experience true sleep like humans can. You don't really need it. You can go into a trance-like state. You can attempt to sleep, attempt to dream. Some can dream. I think I have on a few occasions. But nothing like you can. You slightly stirred in your sleep. Sometimes mumbling incoherent nothings. I was trying to make out what you were saying, like a game. Trying to see if it was names or places or items. Either way, it seemed you were dreaming something nice. Well, I've attempted to sleep. I think I got pretty close. As I said, I did dream on occasion. But I just wonder if it's different for you. Something that feels more tangible. Not like a foggy mist. Like a real deep sleep. Just seems very peaceful. At least you looked very peaceful to me. Hopefully my ramblings don't sound odd. Well, I'm glad they don't. You're actually very... I just never knew a human could be so cute when they sleep. For lack of a better term. Well, I'm just being honest. Well, I thought you were. With your eyelids closed and every muscle in your face completely relaxed. The way you would breathe and mumble and cuddle into my warm lap. Which I don't blame you. It is quite warm. It was just... It's very heartwarming. It felt nice to help someone. To observe them in a very vulnerable moment. A moment of peace. What were you dreaming about? You can't remember. I also find that very funny. So many humans can't remember what they even dreamed about. Something that they actually experienced. It's so interesting. Well, I think you're rather interesting. human trekking through a blizzard, trying to make it to their family for the holiday, bringing gifts for them, doing it for those that you care about. I do think you're rather interesting. I can tell. Oh, see, there's that chipper attitude I knew that was beneath the tiredness. I knew it was there. I can see it behind that half smile. Oh no, I think that statement is rather false. I am no more interesting than you are interesting than me. Just because I can bear the cold doesn't really mean anything. I have pointed ears, you have rounded ones. You can dream and I cannot, or rarely. Our differences make us interesting. I believe you are very interesting. And I believe I will find you even more interesting over coffee. Would you like to stay in my lap a little longer? You seem very comfortable. I hate to move you. There's no need to be shy about it. You are cold, and I'm warm. Not much more to think about. And since you seem so indecisive, how about this? I'll let you wake up for a few more minutes and we'll get something nice and warm. Nice cup of coffee, bit of stew. If you want more tea, I can give you more of that. Seemed to drink most of what I gave you last night. I'm glad that sounds good. You don't need to thank me for anything. I think this is what we should do for others. Show kindness and grace. There's too much hatred in the world, especially between humans and elves. You needed help, so I helped you. And now I have some nice company. It'll be nice to eat my breakfast with someone. And I'm sure we'll have very great conversation. Oh, I know we will. As I said, can tell you're very chipper. Take your time waking up. We'll have a very slow morning. In the meantime, you can decide what kind of muffin you'd like. I cooked quite the variety. One of the perks of being part woodland is you can cultivate quite the garden. Blueberry, raspberry, currant. Pretty much any berry there is. It's probably hard to see what the garden looked like with all the snow. And with you being rather delirious. We'll get you some good breakfast. Get your strength back up again. perhaps you can tell me more about the journey that you have. I do love stories.